Hi everyone, today I'm analyzing the relationship between Meredith Grey and Derek Shepherd from the amazing series Grey's Anatomy. Not just as a romance, but as a sociological case study. So by looking at their dynamic through theories from Sidman, Giddens, Schaefer, and Eloise, sorry if I'm butchering the name, I'll show you how their story reflects real-world issues around gender, power, privilege, and evolving norms around intimacy and family. Why this amazing, brilliant, successful couple, you ask? Okay, well, Meredith and Derek's relationship spans over a decade of television, giving us a rare long-term relationship evolving over time. They represent workplace romance shaped by hierarchy, gender roles and emotional labor, power and privilege, shifting cultural norms around marriage and family. Their dynamic gives us a window into how broader social forces influence intimate life. Alrighty, so for my sociological framework, I'm pulling 4 people for this. We have Sidman, who argues intimacy is socially constructed, meaning our ideas about love come from culture. We have Giddens, who describes modern intimacy as more egalitarian, based on mutual communication rather than obligation. We have Schaefer, who examines workplace romances in media and how they reinforce gendered hierarchies. And lastly, we have Eloise, who discusses emotional scripts and how gender shapes who performs emotional labor. And with all of them together, these frameworks help us interpret Meredith and Derek's relationship not just emotionally, but sociologically as well. Alrighty, so workplace power. The scene that I'm about to show you, just for some context, Meredith and Derek, the night before her first day, had a one-night stand. Let's watch.
Now, Dr. Shepherd, he's over there.
Dr. Shepherd, you should pretend it never happened.
What never happened? You sleeping with me last night? Or are you throwing me out this morning? Because both are fond memories I like to hold on to.
No, there will be no memories. I'm not the girl in the bar anymore, and you're not the guy. This can't exist. You get that, right?
You took advantage of me and now you want to forget about it.
I did not.
I was drunk, vulnerable, and good looking, and you took advantage.
Okay, I was the one who was drunk, and you are not that good looking.
Maybe not today. Last night, sorry. Looking at my red shirt on my good looking shirt, you took advantage.
I did not
We'll take advantage again. Say Friday night.
No. You're an attending, and I'm your intern. Stop looking at me like that.
Like what?
Like you've seen me naked. Dr. Shepherd, this is inappropriate. Has that ever occurred to you?
Okay, so this moment highlights a structural power imbalance that shapes their entire relationship. Not only is Derek in a position that gives him institutional authority, but it also gives him control over evaluations, opportunities, and Meredith's overall workplace environment. Schaefer argues that media often normalizes these imbalances, presenting them as romantic rather than problematic. I feel like this scene does exactly that. The attraction mixed with uneven power dynamics that Meredith has to navigate more carefully than Derek does.
Now, Dr. Shepherd, he's over there.
Actually, I was...
Dr. Shepherd. This morning was Derek. Now it's Dr. Shepherd.
Dr. Shepherd, we should pretend it never happened.
What never happened? You sleeping with me last night? Or are you throwing me out this morning? Because both are fond memories I like to hold on to.
No, there will be no memories. I'm not the girl in the bar anymore, and you're not the guy. This can't exist. You get that, right?
You took advantage of me and now you want to forget about
I
it.
did not
I was
take-
drunk, vulnerable, and good looking, and you took advantage.
Okay, I was the one who was drunk, and you are not that good looking.
Maybe not today. Last night I was very good looking. I had my red shirt on, my good looking shirt, and you took advantage.
I did not take
We'll take
that.
advantage again. Say Friday night.
No. You're an attending, and I'm your intern. Stop looking at me like that.
Like what?
Like you've seen me naked. Dr. Shepard, this is inappropriate. Has that ever occurred to you?
So, emotional labor and gender. So, here Meredith emotionally exposes herself and pleads for Derek's commitment. Let's watch.
Out of this relationship. I mean, I'm so in, it's humiliating because here I am begging her. Shut up. You say Meredith and I yell, remember? Okay. Here it is. Your choice? It's simple. Her or me. And I'm sure she's really great. But Derek, I love you. In a really, really big. Pretend to like your taste in music. Let you eat the last piece of cheesecake. Hold a radio over my head outside your window. Unfortunate way that makes me hate you. Love you. So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
All right, so how this can carry over to Eloise's argument is women are socialized to perform emotional labor, to hold relationships together, to confess their vulnerability and feelings, and to do the work. This scene shows Meredith taking on emotional responsibility for a relationship where Derek holds not only romantic power, but institutional power as well. Let's not forget that.
Out of this relationship.
The post-it marriage. Okay, so this represents Giddens' concept of the pure relationship. Intimacy based on personal connection, emotional communication, and mutual choice rather than tradition. Instead of a formal wedding, Meredith and Derek define their own marriage with personalized vows written on a post-it note. It rejects institutional norms and shows how modern couples construct intimacy on their own terms. All right, so career conflicts, let's get into it.
No, I didn't get fired. I know that's disappointing to you.
My trial is about to disappear. You really want to act like I'm the bad guy here?
No, I don't.
I know the fact that it is Adele changes things for Richard, but it doesn't for me.
Oh, I understand that.
You couldn't possibly understand that. If you were focused on the millions of people with Alzheimer's, whose lives could have been different, or been better because of this drug, there's no way in hell you would have pulled this stunt. How is it that you don't know the difference between right and wrong?
Because I don't think that things are simply right or wrong. Things are more complicated than that. This was more complicated than that. It's complicated that it was Adele and Richard. It's complicated that we have a drug in a box that could help her. There's nothing simple about that. I am very sorry that I messed everything up, but I would do it again.
I don't have to raise a child with someone who doesn't understand that there's a right and a wrong in the world.
So now I'm gonna be a bad mother. That's where we're going with this?
You've been saying it for weeks. Maybe you're right.
All right, so this scene shows how Derek's career ambitions take priority over Meredith's. For example, Derek pushes forward with his Alzheimer's trial even when it jeopardizes Meredith's standing, and at other points he expects Meredith to adjust her life around his goals. Which is completely unethical, but this reflects what research from the Sex Matters reader describes. Gender inequality persists even in heterosexual couples that see themselves as egalitarian. Despite their attempts at balance, Derek's career repeatedly becomes the default priority, a common pattern in real-life dual career couples. I love Shonda Rhimes for including adoption in Grey's Anatomy. So, parenthood and privilege, what does that look like for Meredith and Derek's adoption journey? The ability to navigate adoption systems, access the resources, and meet the demands of social workers is strongly tied to socioeconomic status. Yet, even with privilege, gendered parenting roles persist. Meredith often shoulders emotional and logistical labor of parenting, reflecting broader social patterns where women, even in higher status professions, like our girl Meredith, carry disproportionate family responsibilities. Independence after loss. So, after Derek's death, Meredith undergoes what sociologists call identification reconstruction, rebuilding the self after a major loss. She redefines her identity as a surgeon, a mother, and an independent woman. This highlights how modern women navigate family, career, and selfhood beyond traditional structures that once were tied to men. All right, so takeaways. Power shapes intimacy, especially workplace hierarchies. Emotional scripts are gendered, placing disproportionate emotional labor on women. Norms around love, marriage, family are always changing, and Meredith and Derek's relationships reflects this evolution. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good day.